sabudana thali peeth. So for this I'm going to take sabudana, which is sago seeds. As you can see, I'm going to take half a cup of them. And I'm soaking these overnight with like water just covering over the sabudana. These are the soaked sabudana, which have nicely puffed up, and they are now ready to be cooked. They have to be soft, so we're going to crush them and make them today. I've taken 4 medium-sized potatoes, nicely washed them, and I'm going to be boiling them in the pressure cooker for about 4 whistles. And I've taken some boiling hot water just so that I increase the process, faster process, and put the potatoes in. Put the cooker. So they will be boiled for 4 whistles, and once the 4 whistles happen, we were going to take out the potatoes, peel them, and then crush them. So the cooker has given me 4 whistles. Let's see how the potatoes are doing. I'm going to just poke them and check if they're done. They seem to be done really well. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, okay. So the potatoes are done properly. I'm going to be taking them out. Number 1. We're going to let the potatoes cool for like a couple of minutes before we start taking out its peel, before we peel them, and then we will smash them. So this is how these are the potatoes ready to be peeled. Now we're just peeling them up. One by one. So the potatoes are nicely peeled and they are ready to be smashed. We're using a potato masher to mash them up nicely. We have to ensure that all of it is nicely mashed and comes together, because we'll be rolling them out eventually. So we need all the potatoes to be nicely mashed. The potatoes are nicely mashed up. We're going to set this aside for a bit to cool completely. Now we're going to chop up chilies and coriander really fine. That will go into our mix to make the sabudana thali peeth. So the chilies are nicely chopped, and now we're going to be chopping up the coriander. The coriander, you will see, has been cleaned. Most of its big stems have been removed, and the leaves are here especially. And we washed it nicely, and it will be chopped up really fine. Our coriander is nicely chopped, very fine. Our chilies are nicely chopped fine. We have our boiled and mashed potatoes, and we have the soaked sabudana ready. Now the next step is to combine all of these and put them together. Taking a larger bowl and mixing the contents in that. So we'll first start with the potatoes. Putting all the mashed, boiled, peeled potatoes into the big bowl. Followed by the soaked sabudana. We're going to add in our green chili and coriander. Yeah, and then we're going to use the masher and mash all the ingredients together to come together very nicely. This process usually takes some time because we need the sabudana and the potatoes to mix together properly and be mashed together. If you're interested in some serious arm workout, this is the best thing that you could possibly do. I think it's time for shaking the whole mixture together and then continue mashing it. Feel free to use your hands, but if you feel that you want to continue to use a masher or a spoon, that is all up to you. We'll now use a masher to mash it one last time to combine all the ingredients together. There we go. This is how it will look once everything is combined very well together. So after all the mashing of all the ingredients together, it's almost become like a very easily breakable dough. And this is how we've combined the whole thing together. We're going to now add salt to this mixture and jeera, which is I'm going to add some salt. Do this as per your taste. If you are a person who doesn't like too much salt, I would advise you to go for less. Put in your jeera seeds, about half a teaspoon. Add in a little bit of olive oil, just a drop of it, and we combine all of it together. You see how I am again kneading the dough almost to like ensure that all of it comes together. Yeah, that's it. These peanuts, and now we're just taking off its shells, so we can grind this into a kind of coarse powder. Doesn't have to be very fine, it can be a little coarse. Yeah. We have the final cleaned up groundnuts, and we're going to grind it into a coarse paste now. Groundnuts are nicely ground into a kind of a coarse powder. We're going to be adding about 3 tablespoons into our final mixture. The groundnut adds the crunchy texture to our sabudana thali peeth. So take about 3 large tablespoons of the groundnut powder and mix again all together. If you feel that the mixture needs more of the groundnut, feel free to add in more. To make our thali peeth now, we need to take parchment paper or baking paper. I'm just going to tear it up. Depending on the size you want the thali peeth to be, it should be double of that. Just cutting it up roughly. There you go. This is our baking paper or parchment paper. I'm taking some olive oil and just slightly putting it on one end of the parchment paper. And this side, this is how long I want it to be, along with the other side on the parchment paper. Just spreading it out evenly. After I spread it out evenly, my hands are a little bit oily and I'll kind of mix them together. I'm going to go into our little dough, make a round, about the size of a tennis ball, I would say. Bring it all together combined. Put it in on one end of the parchment paper, cover it up, and with your hand kind of press it to make it into a flattened roti. Yeah, there we go. This is how it looks eventually. Here I've taken a non-stick tawa. So because we have gone a more healthier way, we have stopped using non-stick and are using like a granite-based pan, which has a non-stick properties. I'm going to get this really hot, so then I can put my my rolled out thali peet into it and fry it up. Yeah. So I'm going to lightly pick up my thali peet, place it on the pan, and release it. Now I'm going to let it cook for a couple of minutes on either side. Just very little oil we need to put. That's it. See the amount I put oil on it, and I'm just going to lightly ensure it reaches all the sides. Yeah, letting it cook. So I've kind of flipped it around after a couple of minutes. It's got nicely browned on the corners. We're going to let the other side cook. No need of adding more oil. The oil is already on the non-stick pan. We're going to just let it cook for a bit. There you go. My thali peet sabudana is ready to be served with coriander chutney and a slice of lemon. This is a special dish for my husband for Valentine's Day. I hope you guys try the video and subscribe to my aunt's channel. It's doing really well. She has very interesting healthy recipes coming up. This particular dish is good for my husband who loves sabudana vada, but we are always scared to use deep frying. So we have used this kind of a thing to make it more healthier and still taste as good as a sabudana vada. Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day.
Thank you.
I made you something special.
Yes, this is amazing.
Yeah, okay. Here you go.
Some chutney.
Oh, sorry. Forgot the chutney. Good?
Really good.
Do try the recipe, guys. It is really good. You have the reviewer himself sitting here.
Amazing.